Lacerba.io for Digital Yuppies. We are here at Outdoor Festival 2016 with Mario Wentzel, Digital Marketing Manager at Mellowmessage. Mario, what are you going to talk about today?
I'm talking about how to generate marketing campaign ideas fast with limited resources. So it's basically about generating this idea within 24 hours. And yeah, that's it.
Are you going to talk about the strategies or maybe also about some tools that it can be used to achieve these goals?
So basically it's separated into two parts. The first part is about that there's not really a reason not to be self-confident about your ideas. And the second one is about methods you can use to generate these ideas in a short amount of time. So yeah.
Okay, we really look forward to hearing from you on the stage. Thank you very much.
Me too. Thank you.
Real name, no gimmicks. Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Two trailer park girls go round the outside, round the outside.
All right. So today we will start with a question. There's a child game which is called The Floor is Lava. So a lot of children play this game, and they all suddenly stop to play this game at one certain point. And the reason is always the same. They get into first grade or second grade. They want to play it with another one. Let's call him Bob. And Bob tells you, you know what? The floor is lava is for babies. And this is a problem because you don't want to be a baby, right? And actually you've never thought about asking your boss whether he wants to play a round of the floor is lava with you because you are afraid that he could think you are a baby or you're crazy or something. This is a big problem in our modern society when it comes to creativity. And now think of a situation. You're working for an agency and your customer or one of your clients wants a marketing campaign which he is willing to pay 15 million euros for. And your boss approaches you and asks you, okay, we have to generate an idea in the next 3 days. We will get 50 million euros budget for it. And you have to come up with an idea. What are you doing? So the question is, what's more crazy? To tell him like, okay, let's just play a round of The Floor is Lava, or to propose to him to charter a plane to fly over to Argentina, to a small town, to build a line of dominoes of 6,000 things you can find around this town, and to make it leading to a giant 10-meter pint of beer. And I would prefer to play a round of The Floor is Lava, but actually this situation is real. And there was this client who wanted to pay for this marketing campaign, and they actually flew to Argentina, to a small town. They got 6,000 things they built a domino line out of, and it led to a large pint of beer. And Guinness was willing to pay 50 million euros for it. Okay, so this sounds a bit ridiculous, I guess. And you might think, oh, what a clever devil who invented this. And it's a great idea, but what a shame that this idea is already taken. Well, think again, because this is the marketing campaign of Guinness in 2007. And there's another one by Honda in 2003, also domino, just made out of, I guess, it's about 80 parts of a car. And there was another one by Sony Ericsson in 2007, and the next one by Sony Bravia in 2008. So dominoes are quite attractive to companies as it seems. And you should really think that it's not about being super creative, it's about being self-confident about your ideas. And the only 3 things you need for generating a really, really good idea for a marketing campaign is self-confidence, it's the right method, and 15 million euros. I can't give you the 50 million euros, so I try to give you the method, which is a 4-point plan. And the first point of the method is called get everybody in the mood with zombies or food. So the whole method takes like 1 day and 3 to 6 people. So you need to have a creative meeting with other people. Actually, you can't do it by yourself. And the first task is to get everyone a bit relaxed, a bit in a creative mood. And I like to start my creative meetings by asking people, okay, just imagine right now, what would you do if there was a zombie apocalypse out there? What would be your first move and what would be your long-term strategy? So they have to think about it and they have to think in a problem-solving way if this is the target of the marketing campaign, or if you want people to get a bit more imaginative and get a bit more creative, you ask them like, what is your favorite food? And now imagine the whole world is made out of your favorite food, like pizza or chocolate. And they have to explain to you how they really imagine it to be and whether they can eat their shoes and cars and something like that. It's only to get them in the right mood. And after that, you have to clarify what you're really dealing with. This is a point that will really save you a lot of time, because sometimes you're not thinking like the customer would. And in this case, we are playing the why game, and this is, you ask yourself, or maybe one of your team members, why should one really want to buy this product? And there are really 3 things that come out. The first thing is social acceptance, the second is comfort, and the third is self-attraction. So people like to be recognized, they like to fulfill themselves, and they like to be comfortable. And normally, if you see like a potato chips brand, you would think, okay, it's all about comfort, about getting home, about watching TV, eating some potato chips. But I don't know how it is for Italy, but in Germany, you won't ever see a TV advertisement where people are sitting in front of their TV just munching on their potato chips. It's all greasy and it's not beautiful. Rather, you would see people enjoying themselves, having a party, watching football, but always more than one person. So for potato chips, it's not comfort, it's actually social acceptance. So if you start asking, it's like, okay, why would you buy the more expensive chips brand? And if you ask yourself this question, you would come to the conclusion, okay, I don't buy these chips because of they taste better, but because I want to offer my guests a better brand of chips and I want to seem stingy or cheap. And the same with Charmin. I don't know whether you have Charmin in Italy. It's like toilet paper. And they had lots of marketing campaigns which were not really about toilet paper. It was about how soft the paper actually is. And this is because if you think about it, lots of people don't use toilet paper for, wiping their bums. They are more using it for cleaning their noses, maybe sometimes cleaning the bathroom, whatever. And this is the reason their marketing campaigns had a completely different direction than the product was actually meant to be, or meant to be used. Okay, so after that, we are at point 3, and this is the Metaplan method. I can highly recommend researching on this, because the Metaplan method is, I think, the most simple and the easiest approach to have a structured creative meeting. So, you start gathering ideas, and this is the point where you have to be really imaginative. and where you have to forget about all rules. You start just writing down whatever comes to your mind. Like for Guinness, maybe it was like Guinness World Records, okay, Dominoes, it was pubs in small towns, maybe even Argentina. Maybe it's pink unicorns, maybe it's I like my mother, I don't know. You can write down whatever you want, because in the next steps, this will all become much clearer. The next step is cluster. You take all these papers and all these post-its you have written on, and you start to cluster them. And you will see that those things will start to become ideas. So this may be like, okay, we just build a big line of dominoes. This will be, okay, the floor is lava, and another one will be whatever. At this point, you have just taken 30 to 50 minutes to generate 4 or 5 really good, or maybe not as good, but as a start, some ideas. And in the next step, you will go deeper and you will think further about it. So here I've written down some really powerful points which you can use to enhance your ideas. Like just exaggerate it or turn it around or make a spoof out of it or make it a game. Maybe just make it huge like Guinness does or did with the huge pint of beer. Or maybe repeat it over and over or compare it to something else. And then you will write down more and more ideas that will get bigger and bigger so that you can, in the next step, consolidate your ideas. So you take these 4 ideas or these 5 ideas you had at first and you cross everything out that was not really useful. Like the pink unicorn from the first time and everything that's not really useful for this idea. And then you have like 3 or 4 ideas. And in the next step, you will evaluate these ideas. And there's only one method that is really, really helpful and not too complicated. And this is 3 times yes, 3 times no. So every team member of your meeting gets the chance to give every idea and every feature of the idea 3 yeses and 3 nos. And all the interesting ideas are the ones that got yeses and nos. So this is the interesting point about it. Everything that got nothing will be crossed out. It's not really interesting because you can't make anything further out of this idea. The interesting ones are the ones with a lot of yeses and nos, because you can transform every no to a yes if you just think about it and if you try to figure out what can you do better about the no and what can you do better about the yes. And if you've done that, you will realize that not every idea you've come up with was a really, really good idea or was worth spending $15 million or euros on it. So you will cross out 2 ideas, or at least every idea that's not the last one, and you will have one last idea with core features. That can be 3 or it can be 5. So this would be a process to come up with a really good idea in just 4 to 8 hours, 1 day basically. And yeah, if I can give you something on your way, then it is be completely free and use these methods. Yeah, that's it basically. Have a good night.